The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even endorsed and loved by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at paypal.com/Mike Wagner voiceover. Also on Anchor FM/support. And for some great gift ideas, you can go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise and also Mian Mohsen Zia for his books and some great gift ideas. Just go to Amazon.com/Mian Mohsen Zia. Do so today. And don't forget to shop for your loved ones. We're here back, and he's back by popular demand. And he's recently did a charity called Let Me Help Incorporated, and has a brand new record label out. We talked about that. He's also owner of a real estate firm, and he's also done some, a lot of entertainment throughout the years. And he has a podcast, couple of shows, and he's just done tons of charity work, and he has helped out so many great people in the New York area, and he's always here to bring sunshine and brings a lot of inspiration. Every time I talk to this guy, he just creates great inspiration. And of course, if I have a crappy day, he just says, hey, so what? He just puts a smile on the face and all the problems go away, and he'll do that for you too. So live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown New York City, the very, very talented and very upbeat, and he's backed by popular demand, Soho Johnny. Hey, Soho Johnny. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us. It's great to hear from you again.
Well, thank you again for having me on your show, Mike. It's certainly been my pleasure, and I appreciate it. And hello to all your audience out there. And just what you're doing with your show is wonderful, and it just keeps growing by leaps and bounds. And as we were saying earlier, right before the broadcast, I just want to applaud you for just keeping the light on out there for everybody during these challenging times. And I just think it's wonderful. So I want to thank you.
Well, we greatly appreciate it, and thank you as well, too. And, of course, you can also follow Soho Johnny on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more. And, of course, by the end of the day that you'll be thankful you have, yes, a roof above your head and a little bit of food and drink and, clothes you have on, your heart beating. And, yes, there's always food on the table. You have something to sit on. And there's plenty of light, as you could tell. See, there's, I think I'm trying to reach, there's plenty of light. Well, you can tell in the background too, there's plenty of light. So, oh, it's so amazing. And so last time we had you on your show, you had you did some shows, you had a podcast, you also did a lot of charity work, some entertainment, and fast forward to 2021. So just quickly tell us how you got started and what's been happening since the last time we talked. It's like you've really done a lot here.
Well, so, usually I get, and by the way, this is not about me. I call myself the accidental tourist of everything that's happened, and it just seems to keep accelerating. So I'm so blessed on the journey that I've been on. But the last, I guess it must have been over a year ago that I was in front of your audience, and we talked a little bit about the background and everything, and how I got started in entertainment and my background. But one of the most recent things that we started was I helped start a foundation called Let Me Help Inc. And I had it on the shelf. And during the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic, when we didn't know much about what it was, and we didn't have the medical science to understand these vaccinations or certain types of remedies or treatments, I had lost my mom earlier last year to the COVID. And it's kind of a parallelism to what happened when I lost my dad 26 years ago, which kind of catapulted me into the charity aspect of my platform and what I do and the shows. So just like in the same ilk as which for my dad and everyone else that was affected or had a loss through cancer, my mom now with COVID, I took this foundation off the shelf and I finished the paperwork on it and I launched it and I started doing some shows. And raising money. The difference between a foundation and a charity that many people, including myself, didn't know in the beginning, is it's a foundation is like a charity. The only difference is it can pivot and give to different types of charitable organizations or causes. Like the American Cancer Society, which I've supported and I've done shows for, money's just for cancer, great cause, but it's just for cancer. A foundation like Let Me Help could give to muscular dystrophy, cerebral palsy. It could give for all these different things. Several at once, or each, if you do a show or an event or any way that you raise money, it could be for different causes. So quite recently, again, I was so blessed, and I have a dream team around me, as you know, many of them, and I just consider myself that little Bulldog Mack truck symbol in the front of the truck. I'm just and all the heavy weights being lifted by my team who deserve all the credit.
I love that Mack truck symbol. Yeah, it's like a bulldog. It's like he looks mean, but then he's like, he's cute, innocent. It's like, I need help. Come on over, help me.
Actually, it's probably a good analogy because it's Mack truck carries a lot of weight, right? But John Valesco, my mentor, Eileen Shapiro, Jimmy Starr, and all the champions that helped propel me, and the beautiful people I meet along the way, and just combining the love of music with music, the tie that binds, no diversity, no politics and everything, entertainment, charity, and just my own passion of when we wanted to perform and to have that umbilical cord connection with the audience, especially during these times, to get people a little bit away. So we couldn't do a live concert, okay, because of COVID, but we were, through the efforts of everybody on my whole team, we put together a virtual concert, and it had so many great ratings. It was a 6-hour virtual concert fundraiser under Let Me Help Inc. Last year, November 24th, and the outreach of love and support I got from artists all over the world, all over the globe, and I'm not kidding, to come support either through their agents or whatever, blah blah blah, and either allowing us to give footage, allowing us to giving shout outs to the cause, or doing some performances, and it was just beautiful what we did. So the target of this, we chose 3, which is a little bit unusual because you don't want to take too many targets as far as raising money, but we chose 3 targets for this one. One was prostate cancer. The other was COVID, of course, in honor of how that's affected so many people and lost, including my own mom. Something I think is really of Meals on Wheels, Department of Aging in Yonkers, Westchester County, that's in the part of New York State. And a segment of the show was co-produced by another talented artist himself, Andrew Cole, hashtag I am no joke for anti-bullying. And we put this show together. I mean, I used to have a long list here because I get brain farts, Mike. I don't remember everything, and I want to give everybody all the ultimate credit because they deserve the credit, my team and all the artists that did this. But we had features and everything from everyone from Patrick Stewart, Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne, Cedric the Entertainer, Tommy James. Remember Tommy James and the Shandels?
Oh, yes, classic.
They're still out there kicking butt, giving such great performances. And the list goes on and on and on. All different parts. Rick Wakeman, okay? I used to play his album, Journey to the Center of the Earth, all the time. John Lodge from the Moody Blues. Different genres, different, and different contemporary times of music. A lot younger artists that were performing there, emerging artists. And it was kind of a platform, and we just all came together, and it was just absolutely wonderful. So we aired that November 24th. We were successful in raising some money that we were able to support those 3 causes. And I mean, how lucky am I? Here I am having a great time. I mean, listen, when you put these shows on, we've talked about this last time, there's a certain amount of work and stress that goes into it.
Oh, yes.
Probably, I mean, a live show, of course, you want everything because it's live. You want everything to go right, and you want the artist to have the right green room, and you time everything out. And believe it or not, there was a lot of work that went into this virtual show too. But we pulled it off, and I'm very, very, very thankful that we're able to do with the help of so many wonderful people. And that continues to put the wind into my sails of everything I do. There's a part of everything that's necessary for the business aspect to pay the bills. But like we were talking about earlier, the true currency of life isn't money at the end of our life. When we look back, it's going to be love and outreach, tenderness, or the kindness, or just how we interact with each other that's going to elevate us in the end.
And that is so fascinating as well too. And of course, I caught some as well too. And of course, the very talented Sherry Nelson, Ian Guerin. Of course, I was going to mention Rick Wakeman and quite a few artists. And I mean, they all stepped in, even maybe 30 seconds, less than a minute, whatever it is. It's it was just powerful and very impressive and just amazing. I says, even less than a minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever. It's even saying one word, just a big smile. It's it just makes a big difference.
It certainly did. And I'm so thankful for all of them for doing what they did and helping us promote it. And the journey continues. I mean, we have a few other projects that we're working on now. We're working on something to kind of bring light to Broadway, the Broadway district in Manhattan, which of course has been dark because of COVID. It's been on the shelf somewhat. We were going to do a virtual show with Susan Lee and a few more champions. And the intent of that, we're going to get artists, Broadway theatrical artists to come and support us. And it looks like it's going to be later on this year. And that will also probably going to be going to Let Me Help to raise money for students of the theatrical arts, so they could afford
wow.
the supplies and everything. Because listen, the COVID has created cutbacks with many other worthwhile causes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and those causes have their needs and then they don't go away. So diseases, whatever the case may be, or just the needs of education. I think it was January, as my buddy that he was on your show as well, Scott Page. We did
Yeah, Scott Page. He's
education.
amazing.
He's amazing. Originally sax from Pink Floyd, but I helped support him when we did the Watts Conservatory for children's education and music there. I think that was, my God, it's about a year ago already now.
Wow.
That we did that. But we had that gig gestating now for Broadway. And my mentor, I call him my mentor. He's such a wonderful, kind man, and he's a powerhouse in the industry. But he's one of those quiet powerhouses. John Valesco. He came to me, he tapped me on the shoulder, and he says, "John, there's this blind camp for children. I think it's called Camp Marcel or somewhere in New Jersey. I hope it's New Jersey. My memory's not." And, why don't we pitch them? So one of the artists that we have signed to us under the sohojohnny.com label is another group of great guys, so talented, a band called animazex.
Animazex, yes. They're amazing. Yes, amazing.
So we brought them into the States kind of, and we've been, and it was such a great, we were so fortunate to be able to work with them. They're great guys. And we kind of said, okay, let's have this band choose like a charity, like to take under its wing. And the cause is that they're probably going to take on this camp, and we're going to do a great show and with them, and maybe probably some outreach for some role models. Okay. Because listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do, whoever's listening to us, we're all role models to someone else. It doesn't mean you don't have to be a celebrity. It doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have. In some way, you make an impression when you speak to somebody else or meet somebody else. Always remember that and try to make it positive. But, we're going to think and have some outreach, and probably, it's the blind children's camp. So maybe what better role models, what comes to mind, maybe people that rose above, and Stevie Wonder, Andre Bocelli, they're wonderful, different types of music. There's a few others, I think. It was Jose Felicia. I forget who else that, that are just so powerful in the message that they convey and the talent they have. So we have that in the works as well right now. So, they just said that the journey continues. A few other projects I'll talk about in a minute, but again, it's been my honor to work with these people and to do what I do. And I've learned a new definition because, as you get older, when you're younger, you hear all these phrases, these catchphrases, so if you will. And I've always heard all my life, when you give, that's when when you give, that's when you really receive. And it makes sense. I had a religious education when I came up. I mean, I don't get into religion on my platform, but I did.
Right. That's understandable.
But it took a different meaning as I started doing these things. I keep the business is important, but I always now have something charitable involved. And I find it very, very important because now I realize you really, really do receive. And what you receive is so special to love. And so people that have approached me on my platform or have personally approached me, especially when I do a show, some of them with tears in their eyes. I have tears in my eyes here, thinking about life experiences. But, it's important for us always to remember that life is so special, and death, while a necessary part of life that we all must face as inevitable for all of us, is what defines our life. And that is what makes it special. And so, as I have on my website, every day is a blessing and a gift. And if we all could wake up and believe that and have that instilled in our heart, doesn't matter. Again, as I said, we don't talk about religion, but it's just common ethics of humanity. If you're part of humanity, to think that way, I think it makes a little bit of a gentle ripple in the pond by each of us that together will create a tidal wave of good faith. And I think that's important always.
And that's also common sense as well, too. Learn how to respect each other. And of course, this may be social distancing, but I mean, we're more than 6 feet apart. It's like maybe 6 6 million feet or 60 million feet or something like that. So, I mean, it's great to talk to you as well, too, on Zoom and virtual and everything else. And we'll talk more about animazex and a few of your projects in just 1 minute, along with your record label. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. It's powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our award-winning sponsor, international award-winning author Mia Mosensia of the book Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced. And if you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, and it's available on Amazon and Audible as well. And Missing is fast-paced, intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion, and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved by Hollywood celebrities, including Forbes Riley, Joanna Cassidy, and a lot more. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And show your support for the Mike Wagner Show. Just go to paypal.com/Mike Wagner voiceover or Anchor FM/support. And you can also check out the Mike Wagner gift shop at Amazon.com. Click under the Mike Wagner Show. And also, you can also check out Mia Mosensia's books and his merchandise. If you're looking for a great gift idea, just go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia and order today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's launched a charity called Let Me Help Incorporated. And he's also been an entertainer for all his life and New York City. And he's also most recently started his own record label. And we'll talk about a band that it's not a Mickey Mouse operation. These guys are just amazing. And we have John Pasquale, best known as Soho Johnny, on the Mike Wagner Show, just full of heart and full of compassion. And you also took on a new project. You started up Tribeca Tunes under the Soho Johnny record label. And, just tell us more about that. And what inspired you to start a record label, first of all?
Well, I think it's just the organic growth of doing these shows, and artists would come and approach me and they would say, listen, I'd like to work with you in some manner, shape, or form. And I never wanted to overpromise and underdeliver. So, I was kind of very selective to make sure that the fit was right. And, we took a few. animazex was a safe bet. I mean, those are great guys, Mike Viscera, Rudy Sarzo, and so talented. And then we'll have, their resume is fantastic. And, it just like a hard metal band doing Disney songs and kind of like almost like, children based, but it's not children based. It's adult based, children based. And they did a Christmas show, and they're charting all over the place. And they emanated. They were very popular in Japan. We helped bring them here to the States. Great guys, very, very talented. And again, what a beautiful experience. As I said earlier, that we're going to have, we're connecting them with the blind camp at the Camp Marcella for children. So we're looking forward for that gig, and we're going to have a lot of fun and hopefully raise money for those children. And what a great cause. I mean, when John Valesco had told me about that, I mean, for most of us, when you first hear it, it hits you right here in the heart, right? And it's just like, there's no is not part of the vocabulary with something like
that. Oh, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. Well, I'd like to get on your record label, except I can't sing. If I tried to sing, I'd probably get fired from the show. So
well, you know what? It's all about the passion. We all do. We all have, we're all performing in each one of our individual lives. Either you're performing as a parent, you're performing as a spouse, a friend, or even just somebody to help somebody else that's in the street or something. We're all putting on and it's important to remember that it is a performance, and it's something that that really, really matters in the end. So, You want to, people ask me the question sometimes, and we just asked this recently, and I guess it's probably a common question that, like, if you could just speak to a younger version of yourself or to an aspiring artist or someone coming up, like, what would you tell them? And, what comes to my mind, because I look at myself as, what happened to me, because, my grandfather started in Soho, and they started a business there, and it went several generations. That's why I had the nickname Soho Johnny. I used that to name my production company. But I would think that and it happened organically for me. But if I could go back and advise the younger version of myself, or anyone else that would go, I would say always follow the passion of your heart if you can. And you may stumble and fall, but the important thing is to drive the bus of your life. Don't be a passenger. In other words, like, we're brought up, and society, the government, everything, there's a certain amount of conformity that's expected of us. It's just because you go to work, you go to school, blah blah blah, and it's necessary.
Right,
And you
typical
choose
path.
your own path. Right. But it's important to remember that we're not just widgets in a big machine. We're human beings with heart and soul and essence, and the most important, a heartfelt passion. So if you can remember to hold on to your passion. I was a stuttering kid, back in the boogie down Bronx, back in the days. I count myself blessed, because being brought up there, I had it's like the melting pot of all melting pots, all different ethnic backgrounds, and everyone coming together. And I grew up, besides having my regular education, it was a second education, how people could come together from all diversities and come back and create and work together. And I think that was the second thing. But I think just driving the bus of your life at an early age, just to keep your mind in that. And if you're coming from a position with a moral compass, and you continue, you're driven, and remember that you're going to fall down maybe 40, 50 times for one time you could go forward. And remember, that's part of life. I was listening to on one of the platforms the other day, and many of the listeners, we all probably know that famous show Shark Tank, which is so popular right now on
Shark Tank.
TV.
Yes,
Right?
I do watch that from time to time. Shark Tank.
So I was listening. Actually, I think it was Damon John that was just saying exactly what I'm talking about now. He's saying that we hear about the success stories in the news, okay? And when somebody did this, or somebody made so much money and everything, and that's great. But he says, you don't hear about the failures. So there could be like 100 failures that you lose, or you stumble or something, but you only hear about that one success. So the stick to itiveness and going forward is and following your passion. And if you could somehow align it with something that's going to be kindness, or for some type of outreach or kindness to someone else, believe me and trust me, that will make a difference in carrying you on your journey in a much more humble way, but more important way that's going to bring more love into your soul.
You know something too, it was very interesting, and I never thought about this. I've done so many interviews since I started the Mike Wagner Show. I never thought about that question. What would you say to yourself, or ask yourself as a younger version of yourself to other people? I never thought about that, and I think you definitely clicked a light bulb right in my head. And I thought, wow, of all the questions I've asked, I've never asked that question. Maybe it was a long time ago, but it was like buried somewhere in the old days of a microfiche, or like in those floppy disk, but all of a sudden it just popped up like streaming, like just imaginable, like it was converted. And I was like, I never thought about that. And I think people should just take a step back and say, what would you say to yourself or ask yourself of a younger version of yourself? I like that.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm looking at all these old pictures because, of course, I lost my mom, so I'm going through stuff here, and I see pictures of myself. And I'm saying, people ask, like, where did this come from that you got involved with this entertainment and everything? And yes, I always say my mom always had music in the household as a kid, and that I owe that sense. And she always wanted to go more into entertainment. But, she was born in 1927. In those days, it was much harder for a woman to, get somewhere.
Right.
But she did some performances and plays and everything. But she always had music in the household. But I think I owe her my sense of entertainment and music, and my dad my sense of humility and humanity, because he had that trucking business, but he lived through the Depression, had no money, built up like a little bit of business there with his brothers, And everybody that would deal with him, no matter who they were or what they had or didn't have, would say kind words to him. And that to me really left an impression on me. So I look at these pictures as I'm going through some of my mom's belongings, and of course, all of these memories come back. One similarity when you look at a picture or you listen to a song that could take you back 20 years, 30 years ago, depending how old you are. For one, it's a time tunnel where you can listen to a song or a picture, and all of a sudden you're thinking or remembering, especially the song, because you'll remember how you felt or what was going on in your life, and all of a sudden, just for that split second, you're there. It could be your first kiss. It could be your first, your first crisis or the first thing you experienced or whatever it is. And so I saw pictures of myself, and I remember, how I was in grammar school. I used to get in trouble. I went to a parochial school, and back in the 60s, they didn't spare the rod. I'd get in trouble a lot, but it was just because I was just this practical joker, and I would bring in these little practical jokes, and the teachers would grab me on the side, snakes coming out of a cigar, and this little thing that was a little laughing, maniacal laughter. I put this little box somewhere. It was called a laughing box back in the day. And I was in grammar school, and I would get in trouble. And I'd see pictures of myself posing and doing all this stuff. And I says, you know what? I was acting or performing even as a child. Okay.
Amazing. Wow.
I had to get that smile. And I'm going to say, and I was a nervous kid, I used to stutter, but, over time, I said to myself, I'm going to rise above it and become more articulate, which I did. And, but you learn about yourself. It's easier to learn, no matter how old you get. The experience for me has been that you continue to learn more. The one thing about life, the more you learn, to me, the more you realize there's a lot more that you don't know, right? Because I think that's the sign of the highest intelligence. No matter how smart you get, you're not going to know everything.
Right.
Okay, you just realize how much you don't know. But then learning about yourself and learning about how your journey, how you evolved to get to where you are, is a revelation. And you continue to learn that, as I've done. Losing my mom, of course, I'm going through emotions just like all of us when we experience loss. But, I see these pictures and it just brings warmth to me. And I realize how blessed I was to have had the life that I did. And I think it's a big part of what makes me who I am today. And again, I'm not looking to take credit. It's not about me, Mike. But it really is about the connectivity of that, what I call the great trifecta. It certainly is for me: charity, performances, entertainment, the connection with the audience, and that positive energy that circulates in the people that I've attracted around me. So for me, I think the journey is great. Working with some great people. As I say, artists come to us, and sometimes we work with artists and we help propel them on their career, or even established artists. We may do something, come out with some new music or whatever the case. We're always trying to reinvent it. We're very creative in what we do. Mm-hmm. We're working with a brilliant guy, Maurice Hamilton. We have an agreement with him that we're working together. He's with the SMC group. We will take aspiring up and coming artists that are not like A-listers yet, but they have like that little secret sauce, what it takes.
The service potential, yes.
That have potential. And then, and it's far and few between that we could do this, but we all have to kind of vote. We have like a board and say, okay, fine. This is an artist that maybe we're going to connect them with our connections, like make the Coca-Cola, to be the poster boy of Unilever, or Ford Motor Cars, or just multinational corporation, to be like, who do you think? I think about myself, and I think about all the old commercials, the Prince Spaghetti Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Oh, my gosh. Wednesday? Every day it's Prince Spaghetti Day. I'm hungry for spaghetti now.
I mean, I'm old enough to remember there was a famous song that was adopted by Coca-Cola, and this is probably back to the 70s. I'd like to see the world to sing perfect harmony. I forget the name of the song. It was a great song, but to this day, see, it still resonates with us. So just having artists and to give them an opportunity maybe to connect to a multinational corporation. So we've got, a lot of doors have opened, and it's been a very, very exciting, sometimes challenging experience of I'm involved with now. But I will always keep some type of charitable aspect. I think it's very important for all of us to try to do that. At the end of the day, we're all role models to each other. Doesn't matter what you have. or who you, what you, it doesn't matter, that you make an impression, even if you're just interacting, having a conversation with somebody on the street. Always remember that and try to make it positive.
And that's very amazing too. I mean, I'm just so warmed by what you say too. It's like my heart is just skipping like a beat a minute every time I listen to you. Yes, it's so amazing. All right, we have Soho Johnny Pasquale on the Mike Wagner Show, and we'll be back in just a minute here. Listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mochenzia of Missing, available on paperback and Amazon and more. And what's coming up for the legendary Soho Johnny for 2021 and beyond? We'll find out in just 1 minute after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mia Mochenzia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamochenzia.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device, subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with Soho Johnny on the Mike Wagner Show, and it's just amazing just talking to this wonderful gentleman and, listen to stories, sharing his heart, warmth, compassion, and everything like that, and just having charity fundraisers, Let Me Help, and also put out a new record label and signed animazex. And what else can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Johnny?
Well, we have another show that I've been invited to host that we're going to be producing, it seems, and again, it's been on the back burner because of COVID, but now as we start climbing past the COVID with the inoculations and herd immunity, whatever, so that people start feeling safer, we can do. It's something called Soho at Night. I don't know if I mentioned it, if it was we had just stated it yet when I was last on your show. And I'll be hosting a show with different artists. It's probably going to be one of our Soho lofts down in Manhattan. And we're going to walk into each different room. It's going to have some different type of performance or gig or artists from all different parts of genre of music and entertainment. And that has built up a lot of steam and has a lot of interest. And I've been catapulted to go in that direction as well. So that is coming closer to fruition now. They're probably going to start filming that soon. More artists. I've got some of my own music that I'm coming out with that I'll be releasing very, very soon. And I will share with your audience soon. Writing some of our own music and some tribute songs that we're doing. I'm collaborating with Scottpage, who we mentioned before, which we're going to be releasing something, and a few others. And we have a few other artists coming on board into the house of Soho Johnny. Some really wonderful people and very talented, and it's just a lot of fun, and it just continues. I mean, I am still myself. Everybody that we take, I'm also a fan. Okay, of their talent. And, so I try to look at everything from a fan's point of view to, we really don't get so much into the management, okay? but we'll work with the artists and promote their publicity and get their name out there. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's like many businesses, it's all about the team, right? Nobody could do everything. And we try to fill in that gap there. And luckily we've been very successful, and it's been worked out for everybody so far.
That is so amazing. Very heartwarming and inspiration. I can tell you, it's like you were looking like that king, but then you're just like, one of the humble kings out there. It's like, I just love what you have right there. It's like, I think I'm ready for one of those too myself. It's like, you want to rule, but then it's like, you do it with a warm heart, man. You're just so compassionate. I got to say that. And, or maybe you can just tell us about that little scepter of yours. And I like to pick one up myself.
It's kind of cool. I think it was a gift someone had given to me. I have a few that were given to me. I had. It's funny, like you get these people who approach you, will send you something, ornaments and everything. One of my signatures is probably my hat. Okay, I have all different types of fedoras and hats and everything. It's kind of become like a signature Soho Johnny stuff, and so we're launching our merchandise store very, very soon. We've got a fantastic platform that we're just about to put onto the website very, very soon. We'll have merchandise. We're already establishing a meet and greet platform where people, the public will be able to interact with all different celebrities on our platform, and of course there'll be some type of trying to let me help in some way, and a lot of different. We're trying to stay really on the cutting edge of technology for it, because the whole entertainment industry has been going towards that way anyway, even before the pandemic, streaming and whatnot. And the technology is now catching up. The pandemic just gave it a quantum jump forward, right? So the shows that we do now will have a streaming aspect, we'll have a live aspect. The live is coming, not immediate, and it's going to have an interactivity. There will be some communication and merchandise with the audience, and we have it all coming together on the platform on sohojohnny.com. sohojohnny.com. We have our email list. Please, I encourage everybody that's interested. We're blessed just to come onto our email list, and that's some of the things that we have going. And this is, I could continue to go on, but I don't want to sound bragocious on your show.
No,
not about me, but I'm telling you about the journey,
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about. You can talk all you want. I mean, promote all you want, talk about yourself. I mean, this is basically you. The Mike Wagner Show is not about me, Mike Wagner. It's about you. It's like you're in the chair. I wouldn't say the hot seat. I won't put too much person. It's like, you're in the spotlight. You're you. And, go ahead and present yourself. It's like all the angels and the lights are just coming down on you. I mean, you shine beautiful. I got to say that. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you for saying that, Mike. Thank you.
Anytime. All right. Johnny. I'm sorry. You were going to say something?
No, I think we had talked about the concert at November 24th, right? We talked about that.
We did, yes.
My brain is it gets a little bit. So listen, Tribeca Tunes is one of them. We also have another label, Soho Records. We have and again, because of COVID, we're going to be opening up a studio, a combination studio, probably in Soho. Probably one in Soho and one in Greenwich, Connecticut. Greenwich is a very nice town, quaint town in Connecticut, where we're going to have a studio. It's also going to be kind of like a little hipster membership club here, where artists could come, maybe a little improv there, and people could gestate and practice, and kind of like it's actually the name of the company, Soho Incubator. I think Soho Incubator NY. That's just on the shelf there. So that's coming sometime soon. Of course, we waited because of COVID for that.
Okay.
So that's also in the works. And listen, it takes time to do these things, and you got to. Every project has to have its own team. You got to put the team together, have the right people in place, and you always want to deliver the best product to the public, right? And make it. It's all about experiential now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole theme of entertainment worldwide. It's experiential in some manner, shape, and form. You asked me about real estate before. I think, the whole real estate, the whole retail is being reinvented now. It's experiential. It's getting people in through the door. If you're a mall, I mean, you just can't have a sneaker store anymore. You have to have a reason for people to go there. I try to help people have some performances. You have a little cafe in back of the sneaker store. So it's not just that. You have other streams of income to help retailers. because listen, I feel bad for some of the mom and pops that have been affected by this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, listen, there's a place for like the large corporations, but you know, my background has always been like, you know, kind of that, you know, humble, you know, mom and pop family operation there that would work there. I think the regress roots of what made America great and continue. Not even America, all over the world. It's all about, you know, it all stems from upbringing and family. And, you know, and even for those that maybe didn't have like that family unit, okay, just to find that essence of the spirit of humanity within inside you, and to go on and outreach and have relationships around you. Because remember, our life is not meant, in my belief, just to be. This is not meant to be like a paradise. Okay, we have to accept that it's not, and it truly is what they say. It is what we make of it, and it's so important to have that approach, because you can have, you know, it's funny. You can have different types of eyeglasses, okay, different types of prisms, and you could look at the stars, look at this. One person can see yellow, person can see blue. It's how your attitude and how you look at life that really affects your experience as you go through life. Because how do you want to experience life? How do you want to experience your career? How do you want, you know, what's your passion if you're an entertainer, if you're up on stage and everything? When you go up there with the right frame of mind and that feeling that you have inside, that energy that derives from passion and that connection to the audience, then you know that there's something noble about it, which is the charity that I introduce in it. That is such a beautiful thing. And no matter what your career is, there's a way to just tweak that to adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's important for people to remember. And I make light of nobody's hardship, because I know a lot of people are suffering out there.
Oh, yes.
But it's important that we're out, that, you know, that you reached. If we reach out for people, let them know social distancing is not social isolation. It's the opposite. Now's the time that we have to pick up the phone, call people, say, how you doing? I haven't spoken to you in a while. And for those of you that might have a silent vigil, because you don't know what the next person's going through, because they may just keep it inside and everything. You know, we always encourage people that if you're going through hard times, just pick up the phone. Then you can pop us an email, info@letmehelp, inc.org, you know, John at Soho Johnny, and, you know, we'll be glad to post something and do something in our humble way. But always remember to reach out there, because, well, look, we did that part of the show when we, on November 24th, the anti-bullying thing with Andrew Cole, that he did that, he produced that part of the show. And it was great. These stars coming out, Ozzy Osbourne, whatever, talking about their experiences and bullying. And, you know, they're talking about, oh, I was ashamed, or, you know, it's going to talk about substance abuse and things like that. And, you know, the revealing stories that they would say about themselves, you know, to me, makes them a celebrity twice over, not only because they're talented and we love their music, whatever, or their acting, but also because it's a way of them exposing their vulnerability. And that's what shows that they're human, that people can relate to as a role model in a positive way.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's very important as well, too, you know, given like a twofold, threefold dimension as well, too, not being star up all the time. You know, you have to have some humility, too. And can people still contribute monetarily to your website or your foundation? And most importantly, again, how can people help?
We always appreciate donations. We're just going to put in the kitty for the next show that we're going to do. It's letmehelp, inc.org. I believe we also have a link on Soho Johnny, and that's a legal chartered foundation. And as I say, we raise money. Our last show, as I was saying before, we raised money for the anti-bullying with Creative Visions, which is another foundation that was involved with anti-bullying in LA, I believe. And I think it was Meal on Wheels, prostate cancer. And we're going to pick the next one. Is definitely, I'm definitely going to keep COVID involved in there, okay, in some manner, shape, or form. And listen, we're open to suggestions. As long as it's something, we have an idea, you know, and by the way, it's not only money that we could do to help each other. We could just offer other things. We could donate property or things, or, you know, even toys for children, right?
Yes, very important too. Yes, definitely.
You know, there's so many families I know, when their kids get older, they don't need these toys or whatever, and you know, just hand them over to other people less fortunate. I have friends of mine that work on food lines now. It's it's really, it shows, if anything that's happened here, that I always try to find a little bit light, something to learn from something that may be trying, that we all have to experience.
Mm-hmm.
So here I am, I lost my own mom, right? And I try to see, what can I say about the pandemic? And what I see in a very enlightened way is that it made a profound appreciation of life in a way that we never expected. I myself, we become innocently complacent in our day-to-day lives and take things for granted. Not that we're intentionally taking it for granted, because it sounds like, you're selfish or something, like, you're a pompous. Not in that way, but we're just living our lives. And, you could go get some toilet paper at the supermarket. You could get this here, and you could go to a restaurant. You were able to work, whatever. People lose their jobs. The supply chain was affected. All these different things. It could show how something could affect our lives. That and the structure that we have, the government, everything is still one step away. At the end of the day, it's human resources that always is the most important thing. We can never. The most important thing in life is the human element, right? It doesn't matter about governments. I mean, not that it doesn't matter about governments, but I mean, that's all secondary. It all starts from here.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts. I mean, I have a comic book. We're coming out with the second issue now. It's funny, a comic book, right? I called it The Mandate for Humanity. And my first comic book, of course, our mutual friend Eileen Shapiro. She's
amazing. Yes,
she's amazing. A rock star journalist, right? And she's. We had my Mr. Magnificent, I call him. I don't know if the audience, other audience knows that Billy Batson, he's that comic book character called Shazam. He turns into Shazam. He's this little boy that turns into Shazam, and he has all these mystical powers with these, I don't know, these gods or whatever. It's an old comic book called Superman. And I'm just making an analogy to that, because in the comic book, Soho Johnny gets powers from Monty Rock the Third. I call him Mr. Magnificent.
Monty Rock the Third. Wow.
So I get flamboyance from him because, he's so wonderful. How many times was on the Howard Stern show, and Johnny Carson, the late Johnny Carson. And, of course, Scott Page, okay, and Howard Bloom, okay, famous, brilliant journalist, PR person as well. So they all offer me kind of powers, and I'm going through this ravaged earth, and it's kind of funny. I'm trying to remember if that comic book, I think, was already coming out with that type of theme. I think it was actually even before the pandemic. And when the pandemic came out, my God, it was just right on, because it shows like how the planet was affected. It's just like, here I am walking around, and then I don't have these powers. I was able to create, mirth and just spread some happiness and take people out of the humdrum or their existence in a way, because they were suffering, and try to turn it around to try to bring people together. That's a big part of the comic book. And Eileen was kind of like propelling me to go forward with it. So we have that on. The second issue is going to be coming out. And the second issue is going to have some other mentor mystical powers to be bestowed upon the Soho Johnny.
Wow. I'm ready to go out and buy This is great. And Soho Johnny here on the Mike Wagner Show. You're always an inspiration. Very big thank you for your time. You're absolutely amazing. Looking forward to hearing it soon. And once again, what's your website and how do people get in touch with you?
SohoJohnny.com, SohoJohnny.com. There's an mailing list sign up for. And letmehelp Inc.org. Soho Johnny on of course, Instagram, Soho Johnny LLC on Facebook. John Soho Johnny Pasquale is a personal page of mine on Facebook. Soho Johnny on YouTube. And I believe we have a Twitter account. I'm not a social media expert. And, pop us a line, if it's something to do with the charity, info@letmehelpinc.org. Or you can pop me an email, john@sohojohnny.com. I welcome it. And again, thank you again for having me, Mike. And thank you again for you keeping the light on, because your show is truly a torch in the tunnel here as well for many trying times. But we're getting better, and there's great times, there's much better times ahead. This year is going to get better and better. in many different ways. And again, remember, we have to be there for each other. And listen, music is a common denominator, right? It's a common denominator for much of positive vibration of music. I think it's on my website. I came up with this quote one day. The art of love is expressed is in the form of musical expression. So I'm getting the words wrong. I'm quoting myself. But, music is truly the tie that binds. So again,
yes,
Mike, thank you for what you're doing.
And that's very important. Thank you as well, Johnny. Thank you very much. Once again, Soho Johnny, very big thank you for your time. You're absolutely amazing. We got to have you on soon before 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. Drop me a line anytime, please. Okay. And I'd love to have you back. I mean, you're just so amazing. Thanks again. You're great.
Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for those kind words.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.